Science Gojo is on his way and programmed to save the day.
Greetings, this is Transcode Jobot with Graf-X Motion bringing you another video tutorial. Today we're going to take a look at what I go through after I did some raw animation and I want to bring it into my project and get it all ready for the shot. And what I decided to do this time was pick a very complex animation that I did, and it's probably one of the most challenging ones I've done to date, where it is Megatron flying, transforming in midair, and then landing. And what we want to do is, I didn't want to shoot this on green screen. I wanted it to be actually in the scene. So this was very, very tricky, and as you'll see here in a moment, the footage is really rough, and it needs a lot of work in order to look good. And so we're going to explore this together, and we're going to this is not scripted. This is just me sitting down. I just got done animating. I turned on the recording software, and I just wanted to show you what I go through the struggles, through the good times, the whole thing. So there's nothing really super special or scripted here. So let's go ahead and just start by first getting my stuff imported. So I'm going to get out to my exported clip, and let's see if I can find it here. So switch it around and see, here it is. So here it is, December 26, 2018. This is when I completed it, day after Christmas here, and completed this this particular scene. So we're going to go ahead and copy it to the library. We're going to add it to my 300 event, and we're going to go ahead and import this guy here. So that drops it in here. Basically what I do is I section off my movies by scene. So I have scene 1, scene 2, and scene 3. And then as I keep going, I produce new scenes. I think this is a 4-scene video. Excuse me. So we're going to go ahead and drop this. Oh, this is not 204. I grabbed the wrong one. My mistake. Well, here, let me take a look at this, because I think I named it wrong. It should have been 304, but anyway. So let's just rename this guy right here. So this is actually would be scene 301, 02, 03. So it's scene 303. Drag this guy on down and line him up with the next shot. And here is the very, very rough footage here.
Come on, Brian.
So some of the sound effects don't match because I added these in as a guess to kind of what I would want for length of time. And so I'm going to need to adjust all that.
Come on, Brian.
Alright, so that's what we're going to work with here. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this, well, actually not put it over the storyline. I wanted to first create a compound clip. And so this is going to allow me to make a bunch of changes inside of this clip, and then to have just like this one completed clip that I can move around however I want in my project. So I usually just go ahead and name it the same thing as what it's supposed to be for the first time here. For the master one, drop it back in there. And so this is clip 303. And so then we're going to go ahead and just go right into it. And now we can kind of focus on just this clip. We're not going to worry about sound effects right now. We're going to focus on getting this cleaned up. So we have lots of supports. Obviously we have this support here at the base when he's flying in. As he transforms, you can see I switch between different supports. Sometimes it's my hand in different areas. Sometimes I use other stands, depending on how I can get the angle or the look. And then I switch to this support for a while. Some of these are great supports, but like someone like this has a big clip on it, so it's going to be a lot more to edit out. So I try to avoid using them. I don't like using my hand either, but sometimes there's just no better option than just using your hand. And so here we have it, the spin, and then the flip. And as he flips over, there's different animations going on in each of these steps, and then he lands down. I have a shot here with the support. Then you got some putty right here, and the putty squishes down. And so we can either cut this little bit of putty out, or I can just move the camera up just a teeny tiny bit to get rid of that. Then we have the rest of the transformation, and then him sitting up, and then taunting Prime. So that's what we have to look at. Now we need to figure out, we have some blanks here. Also with this scene, the other thing you have to know about is that I did this over the course of 2 days. So I did part of this. I was about right. I think I got to right about. It was right around here. Yes, see this changing color, just a little bit in the camera change right here. This right here was 1 day. This was Christmas Eve in the morning, and then we had family come over, so I had to stop, and then we had all of our family stuff going on the rest of that day and Christmas Day. And so on Christmas, the day after Christmas, I was able to work on it, and I started it off here. So trying to line up roughly the same spot with the figure just sitting here, and the lighting changed just a little bit. I think I bumped the camera a little bit trying to turn it on, and so you can see there's just a little bit of a difference here. So I had to shoot a new clean plate for this one, and so since I know where this is now, it's right here. I'm going to actually cut this footage in half. So I actually have the two separate clean plates that I'll need. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's get those clean plates in here. So we're going to go and import them. Let's see. I have the first clean plate here, and then I have this one here. So let's grab both of those, import them into my same event here. And here we have our two clean plates. Now, this one here is the clean plate for the first half. We're just going to drop this here and resize it. And then this is the clean plate for the second half. And there we go. Now, with this, it looks like my scale is off. Looks like these exported as full frames, and this one was exported as cropped, which is a kind of a big deal. Yeah, that's a problem. Then they're not going to match up perfectly. Well, we can try a couple things. We could take this down to like 50% blend mode, and we could increase the scale and see if we can get it to match just perfectly. Don't know that we got it perfect. No, there's definitely a movement there. So that's 119. This one's still closer than that one. And then this. It's farther away, so it's like 118.5 or something like that. Ooh, that actually seems pretty good. I have a slight motion. Okay, I think maybe what we do is we export this video footage differently. So this is a really good example of how things don't always work perfect the first time you try something. So we're going to get into my dragon frame scene here. I don't know how I named this wrong. It's really not cool. Okay, but anyways, so here's the really raw, and this is just with a preview. It's gonna look grainier, not as nice, but this was the raw animation. You can see I have these masks here, as I typically like to export these straight out into the aspect ratio that I want to use. But in this case, I think we need to do the full size. So we're going to one thing I gotta make sure I did is find the spot that it's switched here on me. Okay, so right here is where I recorded, on this frame here is where I recorded my new blank plate. So we're going to want to hide this frame, so that way it doesn't show in the animation. And the first one is okay to be there because it's just the first shot, first frame before he flies in. So that is okay to leave that one. So we'll leave that one in, and we have the other one hidden. So now we can do an export of this movie, but now we're not going to crop it. We're going to leave it. And then reduce it down to 4K. And I think that's it, all frames. So export this, and we're actually going to name this properly this time because I accidentally screwed that up. So we're going to call this 303, and yeah, I think that's right. Let's go ahead and export that. Alright, I'll skip forward as soon as this is done, and we'll be right back. Alright, we're done exporting, so click OK, and we can go ahead and get out of dragon frame. Don't need to be in there anymore, and then we just need to import that file I just exported now. So we'll go over to exports here, and sort by, why is it not giving me my latest at the top here? Here we go. So here's my new 303 that I just did. We'll see if this matches up a little bit better. Hopefully it will. So, alright. So we'll go ahead and overwrite the original. And so now it looks like they're the same size. Well, let's find out. We need to. Yep. All right. So these are in the same position. All right. So that's good. And so this, we can go ahead and reset the parameters here. And reset these. Okay. So that way, when we do this, there, the backgrounds are essentially the same other than the shadows moving. It looks like there might be just a teeny tiny touch of motion here. It must have been a small table bump. But well, this is what we have to work with, so we'll go ahead and give this a whirl. So we have our clean plates. They are going to be 100% here. This one needs to be 100% here. And so these are what we're going to actually, we're going to cut these guys up. We'll put these underneath here. So now those are our clean plates. Those are our new backgrounds. So that way when we make a mask around here, it'll allow this to shine through. So let's go ahead and start making a mask. And this part is going to be rough. It just is. I'm going to find that spot where I switched right here. And I'm going to cut that again. Because I actually want to run these masks separately. Actually, before I even do that, the other thing is I'm going to also chop this up when I change support types. So I have this support type up to, I have my hand here, let's see. So we're gonna do this. Cut there. We have a flip. Yeah, that was nasty me grabbing that wing. That did not work very well, did it? Oh well, hopefully it won't be too noticeable when it's quick. Alright. Sorry, what I'm looking for is, do I ever go really above this? Other than grabbing that wingtip there, it looks like my hand stays on that. We have this side here. So I'm going to like do a new one right here too. So then we have it where I'm pretty much only on this side of the guy here. Go all the way till we have this gone. Okay, so this will be our next one. So, all right, so let's start doing these here. So we're gonna do a draw mask. We're gonna put it on this first section, and the reason I'm doing these separate is because this will allow me to go ahead and set up all brand new points for the different types. So I'm just gonna kind of go here. Just gonna click some basic points here. I don't need this to be super perfect, but then I do need to come up and down and around, and we're going to make this just a touch bigger. And so obviously that's the wrong one, so we're going to invert that mask, and because we have the plate underneath, it is now shining through like normal. And so what we want to do then is just keyframe all these control points, so that way as I move them, I can just go ahead and grab certain control points and I can move them along. And we do this for every frame. Okay, so this is where it starts to change shape a little bit, so we're going to bring that down. Gonna follow the bottom of this, and we'll need to extend this out. One thing I have I forgot about in this particular thing. I've noticed that it's sometimes better to go and find lines in the buildings and follow those, and then actually mask off those entire areas. So that way it's more, it's better. Sometimes you'll see the lines of your masks if you're not careful. So we're going to do something a little bit more like this. And so this one I'll redo those couple parts for. So we're going to be out here. The other thing I notice is that sometimes I have some light changes here on the building. So I think what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and grab one of these. We're going to go ahead and mask off this whole building too. Right there. Yep. There we go. And so we'll have this down here. We don't really need as many here. We want this. This will drop down, and there. So now we have this all. This won't change then at all. So we're just going to get rid of our other keyframes here. All right, let's start over. Okay, this is a better starting point. And so then we're going to go ahead and pull back a little bit. And we'll grab just these. We're just going to basically kind of keep that in the same spot. Just arrowing back to reverse the frames. And just kind of watching for things don't get cut off that I don't want them to. Here we can probably just drop these because there's nothing really to do here. So we're just going to find a line in the building. Oop, not the whole thing, just this point. So find a line in the building and follow the line. And then just kind of leave it right like that for the first one. So now we have this first part here. As you can see, we start to fail when we don't keep going. It's right here. So let's move. Shift. Shift. No, I can use this just a bit more. Sorry, this is a little belt, but this is how it works. This is what we do painstakingly every time I take up something. So what I do here is grab this gray line here. Take this. Bring that up. You see, I just typically use the same points in different configurations per frame as it makes sense. So this drops down, this drops down, this goes here, this goes here. Alright, let's see. Okay. Most of the time, if you kind of cut one a little bit, it's not so bad. And there's another option. If you add this a little bit on, it doesn't have to be a lot. It just helps to blur the edge just a touch, and that sometimes help. If you feather out to the right, then you're going away from your line. That you're bleeding in this way, and if you go to the negative, you're bleeding into your just that you're messing up. So I'm show you where you drew a line. That changes there. I guess in case you notice this is my row starting back, so I like to use or maybe so. Alright, so this is where it starts to pitch upwards. So I'm just going to pull these down so I can see what's all going on here. And decide how I want to handle this. I'll just drop this back here. This right at the back of the jet. Looks like we good. Grab one here, right back over there. And then it looks like it's holding his handle, so we'll just square that whole thing off. Alright, I think I'll deal. Just gonna square a few of these. And you're absolutely able to go in and add more spots and make it more perfect and add in, make it just perfectly match up with the figure. I found it's not really worth it when it comes to doing these because we have there's so much already like actually happening in this round, and a single frame just doesn't really make a huge difference. It just doesn't. So that's why I kind of noticed that sometimes it's best to just cut a little bit sharper, and it doesn't usually notice that much. All right, so this is where it's a little tricky because we actually have a fair amount of stuff to go around here, and it have some points. So we're gonna borrow from back here, go in here, this one, that is all. Let me just drop this guy down. Go a straight line over here. Yeah, I mean, this is very just like the difference between the blades and the background. Shadows stuff running along a line, like there's a stripe in the building. It's a good spot to cut things in. So here we go. All right, so I'm gonna do this one again. This one starts up. And you can also turn these into curved bezels, and so you can get a lot better shapes out of these if you want. And I haven't found the need to get that precise yet. So we're just gonna here. All right, so this L signifies the last frame of this. So right now that is my last frame, and then as you can see, my mask disappears because this is the next section. So so if I turn off this. Now you don't see the actual red lines of the mask, but as you can see how good that looks already. Just having those things gone. And you can't really tell. I mean, if you frame by frame it, and you could maybe see some sharp edges, but when it's playing back at normal speed, you'll never see that. So all right, so now we go ahead and do the next one. It's pretty much the same thing, but this is why I cut them up differently, is because now in this next frame, so this L signifies the beginning frame of this next clip. So now I can make some more appropriate control points for this. So I can see I have a lot of stuff to go around. So now I can actually add in a bunch of these. And that way I have more to work around, and it's a smaller section. Let's box up my building here. And this time I think we'll take it right along the road. And then back up. Alright. Invert. And there we have first frame. We set that as a keyframe. And we're ready to rock and roll. So let's go ahead and just take the next step here. So you can see this is where the shadow, I had to move it from one window to another, but now it looks like it's just the shadow of the ship flying down there, moving with the ship. So you can see some of these lines are kind of sharp, like right here. So some of that's pretty rough. So what we'll probably have to do, see, we're up here, but at one point it might be better to move it down and keep it down here the whole time. So there's less movement. And now I'm realizing we need more of a feather on this. That's probably pretty good now. So, see, it definitely helps. Because now it looks like it's more like it's just its shadow happens to be hitting there on that line. Yeah, I like that much better. And now my building's nice and solid with that type of issue here. Because otherwise this little, depending on if my head was in front of the light, it blocks it, makes the reflection flicker a little. So, all right. As you can see, this is a slow process. I mean, we're not even halfway through the clip yet. We got a long ways to go. It's a lot of frames, and we gotta go through every one of them. So, but this is how you do it. Okay, so let's get to the next section. Alright, so I'm getting pretty far in getting all this keyframed out. But there's a couple spots that I wanted to point out a couple things here too. So I have this going down here. These are a lot of different masks. And I have this mask to take out the majority of a support right here and a little piece of putty on the floor. But the problem is this leaves a really bright color. So if you can see, it's quite obvious where the support was. Over here is fine, but right here it's pretty bad. So I'm going to actually take this frame here, I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to take that one frame and I'm going to use it in place of, sorry, let me make this a little clearer. I'm going to actually take the frame from here and I'm going to put it over here. Because now when I have this support, this big support here, where did that go? It's right here. So remember, if it was really bright before, so like if I take this out, see? But now I'm gonna add this in, and even though there's a little chunk of his leg right here, the shadowing is so much better that it actually just makes it look like it's part of his leg transforming. So we don't even, it completely fixes that light problem just by adding that in there. And we could just take it down to that one frame too, because really that's all we need is that one frame. And then I think for the rest of the mask, there's just a few things that would show up over here on the side. But I think what I need to do is I need to get this to go up the whole, because there's a little bit of that. See, you can see right here where it flashes, where it changes color from me moving in the shadows. So it's going to find where it's pretty much right at this point here. And so I'm going to take this keyframe, I'm going to move it over a little bit. I'm going to take this keyframe and take it right up the edge. This one right up the edge. There. See, now that will make that go away. So that'll be nice and solid now. And that way our attention can stay on him as it should be. Okay, so that's the main editing piece. Like I said, just a lot of work. I am 4.5 hours in to this recording, and obviously I'm gonna spread it past it really a lot here. But now what I could do is, if some of these shadows end up really bothering me, either I could try to cast a fake shadow on here, or the other option would be the same trick I used over here with this one frame to fix that spot. I could try to find other frames to fill in the appropriate shadows, and we'll see if we can maybe make some of that a little bit better. But for right now, I'm not going to worry about that too much until I get some of the other effects in, as some of it might be masked by smoke and fog and all the different stuff that would be happening right here. So let's go ahead and let's just take a step back here. Let's take this frame, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in 120%, and that's just so it's not cut off on the sides. Because now what's nice about working with it like this is the workflow allows me to manage the how zoomed in I am on the overall clip, and I don't have to worry about like adjusting each individual thing that I cut up inside of it. So here we have that. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to add in a little bit of motion here. So we're going to actually zoom in maybe a little bit tighter. Maybe 100 and let's try 150. Let's see if that's too far. So we're gonna go over here until we get to the edge of our clip here, and so we're going to basically say keyframe the size and the position. And so by this point I want to be then moved over to here. I want to pull up into the frame. So now I got a little bit of camera panning. And then here I'm going to keyframe everything again, and when he comes back down, I'm going to, at this stage right here, I'm going to drop down a little bit. So we're kind of centering him on the action. And then right here, I'm going to raise it back up. And I'm going to move it over just a touch here. So now, that way I have a little bit of a continuous motion here. You're going to let it settle. And then, right here, I want it to be on the ground with them. And we could take that putty right out. There. Okay. I obviously got to fix the sound effects. They don't really match what's happening here. But yeah, that is... Alright, we're going to render this selection here quick. I just want to get this nice and smooth playback. I'm going to take these sound effects and I'm just going to mute them temporarily. There's a couple that wasn't in use. I was making changes in the middle, so it stopped my render. Here you could see a progress bar for when you're rendering out pre-rendering out a clip, so it will play back smoothly. Come on, bro. Alright, so there we have the initial animation with the supports taken out. Again, it's going to need a lot more work yet, but we have some initial stuff going on here. We have the camera tracking the motion, and boom. And right there is where we need a shake. Camera shake. So let's add in a camera shake quick. And let's see what we got here for camera shakes. Shake. So I don't think I want somebody as violent as a bump. Yeah, do something like that. And right there. That's really violent. So we'll want to tone that camera shake down just a bit. Let's see, maybe we'll say like 15. Do like 7.5 here. In fact, we might not even need much of this at all, so we could probably say more like 7, and 2.5. And then this will do like around 12. Alright, let's see what that part looks like. We'll render that selection out.
Come on, bride.
Still looks a little violent to me. I don't think I need quite that that intense of a shake. Let's see if that's any better. These last here represent what's not fully rendered up.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, that's better. It's better. Let's do the land.
Come on, bride.
And he's not actually going to speak now until after I'm going to switch to a close-up with his mask opening up.
Try to keep up.
All right. Beauty. Let's see what we got here. So this needs to be at the apex of the sound. Right here it needs to be basically at that. so let's isolate this sound effect. Okay, let's isolate this. Let's isolate this sound effect here. Alright, and then I also want to isolate this sound effect here. Okay, so this I'm thinking more towards the end when these parts are folding in. Yep, that looks good. So that's that part. So I'm going to let's just listen to the overall transformation sound effects. Okay, that starts way too soon. I don't like the way that's positioned. I feel like this needs to happen when more starts to explode. Great. Here. Let's go ahead and add this sound effect. We'll say, let's keep this one off for now. Let's keep this one off for now. Come on. Okay. Now let's add this one in. I think this one might be the one I want earlier on. Then during this kind of like buzzing part, I think I want to try this thing. Too bad, maybe a little sooner. Come on, Brian. I might play around with that sound effect, but I think I'm looking at it more and more, and I can obviously use different sounds too, but come on. And this is not what I want, but what I think I do want, it's a little bit like this, but I think I need to tone the volume down like really fast. So we're going to put a keyframe in the volume. Come on, Brian. Try to keep up. Okay, I'm liking that better. Alright, so this is without any other effects going on. So let's go ahead and start the next wave of effects here. Alright, so the first thing that I want to do is actually want to get some engine. So we need some engine fire here. So let's go ahead and see what I got here for some fire effects. Let's see what I got here. Like little fireballs. Thinking. Try these look a little weird at first when I first bring them in because I have to change them to a screen. The blending mode. And the other thing that's weird about these is sometimes these emitters, they're really great, but it's hard to get them to start in the middle of their flame sequence. So in this case, I'll be okay because I can actually take this off screen. Well, no, I probably can't. So let me make this into a new compound clip. Flame. Okay. So we're just going to call this the flame emitter. This will be screened. Alright, it's obviously way too big right now, but then now we can take this and we can, go back a level. Take this and we can bring this in, and now it's kind of in the middle of its flame routine. We also can resize this thing down quite a bit. Drop the scale. Maybe even more, so maybe like try 33%. That's looking better. All right, and then so do that. Trying to decide where I want to end this particular effect. Thinking it needs to be back a few frames. Let me switch to proxy mode. Yeah, I'm thinking once I'm here, I should probably already starting with a different flame effect. All right, we're going to keyframe. So I shouldn't have keyframed that. All right, so keyframe that there. And let's take it back to the beginning. He's not even on the screen yet. So wow, this is really getting laggy. wonder if it's because my recording's going at the same time. All right, so where's the first time I see an engine? This is the first time I see the engine. So first we're going to take this guy here and we're going to shorten that down to there. We're going to place this there. Now we just duplicate this. But the starting frame is a little later. All right, while this is rendering, let's talk about what else that we need to do. I need to create some sort of a burst, engine burst, a flame burst. So probably create some sort of a large flash of some sort. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do there. But once that happens, then I also need to figure out how to add in glass blow effects. So I've never done that yet either. So while this is rendering, let's start looking for some glass blow effects. Oh yeah, like that. Yes, this is what we want. We want this stuff right here. All right, let's grab this effect. Boom, there it is. Okay. So here, right as this, you can see right there, that's where the glass breaks out. So I want to see what we can do with this. So here's one. Right here. Oops. We're going to cut it right here. Get rid of the stuff at the beginning. Alright, that looks like it's the ending right there. So we'll cut that right there. Now I'll zoom out just a little bit. Okay. So there's one. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, let's go look good. So cut this one down. Looks like we got up close and personal one here. So we'll cut this one. There's a cool side one. Good. Alright, so I don't think we're going to need this zoomed up one, but getting this, Oh, it looks like he has the green screen versions of it right here. All right, well, let's first of all, let's see if we can take it, we can just screen out the black. All right, so let's cut this last one here. So let's try this here. First of all, let's just try screening this. Setting that might show up enough. Not sure if it will though or not. So let's try add. That might. Okay, so let's just give this a try here. We're going to position this, and we're also going to change the size of this. So let's give this a whirl. So for right now, I'm just going to set these over here to the side, and I'm going to disable them. We're going to work with just this one. And we're going to find out where that we want this to start. And it's right here. Okay. So we have this. So it looks like if we want one in this glass window here. All right, and then put a mask on it. And the mask will look like invert. Okay, so I don't think we need this go down that far. All right, cool. So let's take this now, turn that off. So now it looks like it's coming out the window. That's gonna look really neat. All right, so if I do that, now we're going to duplicate this. So now we have a second one. And the second one, let's put that up here at this window. And then let's duplicate this again. Now we're going to put this one down here, say maybe this window. Then duplicate again. And put one in this window here. Okay, so now we have all these blowing out, and now just to give it a little bit more effect, make them not all blast out at the same time. Ooh, that's gonna look good. All right, that's awesome. All right, let's take a look at one of these front ones here. Okay, so we switch that to the add. And then this, we're going to want to distort this a bit, as well as resize it. So first of all, let's resize it. And then this one, we're going to want to flip it. We're going to want to make it a little taller. So my windows are kind of tall and skinny. Maybe not quite that tall. So here's like here's one right here. That looks really cool. All right. Okay, so let's put this on the stack. Oh, I like it. All right, let's go ahead and create a duplicate. We got a whole bunch of windows to add here, so we're gonna need a lot of these. Now we have all the. That looks so cool. All right. Now, here comes the tricky part. Notice that I have a lot of glass going over the top of Megatron. And I have a whole bunch of clips all cut up at the same time with him. So, I think what the best thing I can do is take all of these. Let's try this. We're going to put them in a compound clip glass shatter. All right. Put them all in the add. Okay, so now what I should be able to do is draw one mask around this guy. And this kind of sucks because this is not going to be the easiest mask to draw. But this is what needs to be done. So. There, that looks good. Alright, I'm going to render this thing out and we're going to take a look at this. Alright, this is all rendered now. Let's go ahead and take a look. Wow, that glass breaking looks fantastic. Alright, so we need some sounds to go with that. Like really bad. Let's see what we got. Bomb blast and debris sound. Falling glass. There's a lot of them here, so we'll just start at the top and listen to them. Let's do the longer ones first. So I kind of like this one. Alright, that's a good base one. There's so many. These are more explosions. I like the beginning ones where they're more debris and it mixed in right away. Ooh, I kind of like this one because it trails off quicker. It would be better for glass. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Let's tone these down just a little bit, volume-wise.
Come on, Prime. Try.
Liking what I'm seeing. This is where we need the big burst of flamey goodness. All right.
Come on, Prime.
Next. Yeah, there is a next. Okay. So the next thing that we want to do, he lands. We need some better visual effects to come with that. All right, cool. So now we added that. Now with me zoomed in over here, we should see the charge. I just noticed that we do get down too low on this. So we are going to have to raise this up just a bit. Wrong direction. Alright, so let's re-render this clip. Alright, it has been rendered. Let's take a look at our scene now. Alright, I like it. I like it a lot. Now the only other thing I'm thinking is when he first flies by, there should be some dust kick up. One of these flames is starting small and working its way up like it's supposed to. The other one is starting big. I think this one's the correct one. So I think these are the emitters that I had in the video clip before. Yeah. See, now they're both smaller and they get a little bit bigger. Okay, I just thought of one other thing. When it comes to the glass, now this scene's looking good. So here's an example of a scene that took me, I would say, about 3 hours to animate in total, maybe slightly more. And I have spent about 6 hours editing it. And the clip is 8 seconds long. And so people wonder why it takes me a while to get a 9-minute video out the door. Well, this is why. I don't always have 8 hours a day to work on a 8-second clip. So that is a big part of it right here. Is this is what takes forever when doing this work. But it's so rewarding when it's done. It just looks so good. So the only thing that really needs to be added here now is motion blur, which I don't do until the video is pretty much finished. So otherwise, I think I have this done. That and color corrections. I have some color correcting work to do. So that's got to happen yet too. So, all right, we'll let this finish rendering. We'll take a quick peek at it, and then we'll wrap up this tutorial video. So let's full screen this video. Pretty good. So, one last thing that I want to do, this is pretty minor, is I want to actually hold that last frame just for a little bit. So, all right. Well, I think we see basically what we're getting at here and what we have for a final shot. I may still modify tweak some of the sound effects. I might play around with this transformation sound effect a bit more. But yeah, he'll start at a little more of a close up, and he'll finish transforming his gun here in a moment. So that's the next shot. So. All right. Well, this has been Transcode Jobot with Graf-X Motion. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, or I guess just watching me work has really been what it's more been about. But I just wanted you to see firsthand exactly what goes into making these videos. They take a lot of time. They take a lot of effort, and basically, I just wanted you to see that it's not just a simple move a toy, push a button, right? It's not as easy as that. So, all right, well, thank you again for watching, and have a great day.
You will like and subscribe to this channel or risk extermination.